Good morning, you guys. So, I wanted to do a video as I am on my way to an appointment. That always seems to be the easiest way for me to talk to you guys rather than having to set up a camera and lighting and make sure that the space is, the way it needs to be. Because right now I'm believing God for a home and a home that respects um, the space that I need in order to be able to feel encouraged to get in front of the camera and talk to you guys, because I think I'm always going to do YouTube videos, even though some of them are separated and split. And, it might be a month sometimes before I do a video. I always say I'm going to try and keep it, more consistent, but life happens. The point is, I understand that once that video is up, regardless of how long it took for it to get up, it's up and it's available for someone who may actually need it. So, in today's video, I want to chat with you guys about um, dating, Christian dating, and having confidence in your boundaries, having confidence in the morals that you set for yourself, and making the right choices as far as who you invite in your presence, and having the discernment to know when something is not right for you. So, with me, I will say this: I have done it my way far too long. And the place that I am in my life right now, it is time for me to do it God's way and the Christian way. And for example, if you are planning to be celibate, I think it is very important that you make a decision to date someone who is also making a decision to be celibate, or that person has such a closeness and such a great relationship with God that they would protect and want to protect your purity rather than challenge your purity. Someone who is going to respect the fact that you are wanting to embrace the covenant that you are trying to make with God. And, if it's a person who never had an intention of being celibate, and then they make a decision to try to be celibate for you, and it's not really a covenant that they were trying to make with God, it's not important to them that you remain pure in that area, it's going to be a challenge. And understanding that you need more than just your word to say, this is what I'm doing, and just trust your flesh to say no. It's going to be a challenge for him, and it's going to be a challenge for you. It's pointless to try and put yourself in a position to think that you'll be strong enough to say no. Should you go to his house at 11 o'clock at night? No. Should you stay up on the phone with him until 2 o'clock in the morning, between 12 and 2 o'clock in the morning? Absolutely not, because at that time of night, that is the time that, he's wanting to whisper sweet nothings in your ear. The most important part is trying to spend as much time as you can together, staying busy. Staying busy out and about, making plans with family, making plans with friends, doing fun things that keep you from being in a place of wanting to, be up under each other. The sensual kissing and touching and all of that can't happen, because what it's going to do is it's going to allow the enemy to place those thoughts in your head, those imaginations in your head, and your flesh will start to work against you. So it's really about having wisdom. It's really about utilizing the wisdom and knowing what mistakes you made in the past that led you to fall, and making sure that you are working against that. So, one thing I have learned is that when you meet someone and that person is extremely attracted to you, that person has admitted to you that they are a physical being. Well, all men are physical beings, but if that person has admitted to you that they've never considered being celibate, that person has admitted to you that they're not sure whether or not that is a decision that they could make, they're not going to be faithful to you. They're not going to be faithful to the decision that you're making. And the most important thing is to use your discernment and wisdom at that point to protect yourself and back away. And I've had to do that. And I've had to do that with someone who most women would have been thinking was an eligible bachelor. But I could care less about how eligible that bachelor is if that person is not respecting the boundaries and the covenants that I have made with God. If that person has not, does not respect God enough and his relationship with God enough not to challenge that position and that boundary, then that person is not an eligible anything to me. So that is kind of the mindset that you have to have. And you have to make sure that you don't feel sorry. You're not apologizing for your boundaries. You're not apologizing for the walls that you've placed, to keep people from coming too close into areas that you know that you do not want to allow your flesh to control. Don't apologize for it. You have to actually respond to that person in an authoritative manner so that they know you mean business, so that they know that you understand and you stand firm in your boundaries. And when they see, oh, she's not playing, I can't get around that wall, so I might as well just stop now, then they will leave you alone. And it will become very apparent to you who that person is and whether or not they even deserve to go any further in getting to know you. So one thing that I understand now, the best thing to do is to attend and is to put yourself in the place and surrounded by people who could possibly have the same beliefs and same boundaries as you, who live their life going down the same road as you. Not someone who is perfect, nobody is perfect, but someone who their desire to be in the same lane as you is apparent, and that person is making it known to you as well. So go on Eventbrite. Look for events that commune with your beliefs. Make a habit of contacting your church and finding out what kind of singles events are going on or that are coming up that you can place on your calendar so that you can be around people who have the same beliefs and someone who will definitely respect your beliefs way more than someone who's in the world and really could care less about going down that path. I'm sorry, I live in Atlanta, and Atlanta is number one. Well, no, it's not number one, but it's not far. It's like number 5 in the country for having the highest AIDS numbers, like rating. And I don't need to be with someone who is on all these dating sites that regularly has casual sex. I have no desire, because I know that if I connect with someone who is currently having casual sex and who and this person made a very, very valid point to me that gave me all the reason not to trust him, because he said, you're beautiful, you have all of this going on for you, and you you're an amazing person and you have all of these attributes about you that are amazing. But in Atlanta, he said that there are 10 other women, 20 other women who look like you, have the same pluses that you have, but are willing to give it up. And I said, you know what? That person may exist. Several of those women may exist. The difference is they're not me. The difference is I could care less about those women, because those women have nothing to do with what relationship I have with God and the reason why I'm doing this. Why would I compare myself to someone that's in the world? Why would I compare myself to some woman who does not care about having casual sex? That absolutely makes no difference to me. And he made a comment as well that, in the dating pool, an average woman may have what did he say? An average woman in Atlanta, especially because there's so many women to men. And then you have to think about the men that are gay, the men that are already in a relationship, or dogs, or whatever the case may be. Out of 10 men, there might be like 4 good men out of the 10 that you have to weed through and find. But because I am not having sex and I'm abstinent, that my number has decreased down to maybe 1 out of the 10. Or I have to weed through, a lot more people to find that 1 out of 10 that will not only be compatible with me, have the same values as me, and all this stuff, but also be willing to accept the boundary of celibacy. And I said, you know what? I said, that doesn't scare me at all, because my faith in God is number one. My faith in God is what's more important to me. Because if I looked at stats, then that means that I don't believe and trust and have faith that God is going to send the person that is for me. That God, could literally have someone that moves from another state and bring him directly into my life. Someone who's ready, willing, and able to be everything that I have written down. And that's another thing. Get a journal, or just get a notebook. Write down in specifics about what you want in your husband. What type of man you want him to be, from a spiritual level, on a physical level. That's one thing I didn't put, was physical, how I would like for him to look. But be very specific. Write it down, post it up, and recite it. Read over it regularly, just like you would anything else. If you've never seen War Room, go look at War Room. War Room is what was a amazing example for me as far as developing a prayer life that reminds you of the things that you are believing for and wanting in your life. And you write it down in a prayer. If you have an empty room or a closet that you can call a prayer room, by all means, post them on the wall. And every day you go in that prayer room at least once and you read those prayers. With me, I don't have a, designated room to do that. So I've posted them on the wall in my room, but I actually have to make it a point to go to that wall and read it, because it's not a designated room. It's very easy to overlook it and forget that it's there. And so I'm working on that. So basically, the most important thing about Christian dating, I would say, and I'm not an expert, I am still learning after rededicating my life. But I've been single for 7 years, and I've been Christian for most and all of the 7 years, with the exception of maybe like 6 or 7 months of that time. So, but over all that time that I've been single, the most important thing I can say that I have learned is you have to connect with someone who has like values and like boundaries. Someone who is going to respect those. So write it down and believe for it and recite it. And God is going to give you exactly what you ask for. It may not happen when you want it to happen. It may not happen as fast as you want it to happen, but it will happen because God wants us to have the desires of our heart, especially if we are living our life for Him. If we're living our life for Him, He is going to come through for us. So I am in no hurry to bring a man into my life that I could have possibly brought into my life for my own fleshly reasons. No, thank you. So I'm grateful for that. All right, guys, I think I've gotten my point across this morning. I'm in this crazy traffic trying to get to this appointment. Thank you guys for listening. If you are new to this channel, I thank you for stopping by. I would love for you to become a part of my tribe. So make sure that you subscribe and make sure you hit that bell. And that way you're notified of any other video that I post. Some of the things that I will be posting are things related to lifestyle, parenting, as well as weight loss. I am a single parent, not a permanent single parent. I am currently a single parent. So if you need advice on any of those things, then most definitely you want to subscribe. If you've been a part of my tribe, I want to thank you so much for all of your support, your comments, your watch time, allowing me to speak into your life as well. And make sure that you share it if you know someone that can benefit from any information that I share with you guys. Let's see, is that all I want to say today? I think it is. You guys have an amazing day. Have an amazing month of January. And it's going by so fast. My God. Today is the 15th. All right, guys. I will see you in my next video. And stay blessed. Bye.